Very good. Manojavam Maruttulyamegam.
Manojavam Marutulyavedam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Barishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Shree Ramadutam Sirasa Namami.
Very good. Apadamapartharam.
Apadamupahadkaram Dataram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamiham.
Sri Rama Rama Rameti.
Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanine.
Vimalapati Kamalapati.
Vimalapati Kamalakuti Pustaka Rudraksha Sastahasta Puti Kamakshi Pakshmalakshi Kalita Vipangshi Vibhasi Vairinchi.
Then Sharada Niladendu.
Sarada Neeradendu Ganasara Patira Marala Mallika Haratushara Fena Rajatachala Kasa Fanisa Kunda Mandara Sudapa Yudisita Tamara Samara Vahini Subakarata Noppu Ninnu Madiganaga Nennadu Kalgu Bharati.
Jnanandamayam Devam.
Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatikakritam Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagriva Upasmahe.
Very good. Then Shivashaktiyayukto.
Shivashaktiyayukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Kalu Kushala Spanditum Apim Atastvamadhyam Hari Aravirinchadi Virapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katamakrita Punya Prabhavati.
Very good. Then Gurve Sarvalokanam.
Gurave Sarva Lokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha.
Very good. Now, what did we discuss in the last class? We discussed the 17th slokam of Soundarya Lahari. We discussed the Vasinyad Vagdevatas and chanting their names also helps us clear the thought and therefore have a clear speech. Right? Savitri Birvacham Shashmanishida Bangar Ruchubir Vasinyadya Bistwam Sajamni Sanjadha Sagartha Kavyanam Bhavati Matam Bangar Ruchubir Vachobir Vagdevi Kamala Moda Madurai. So we discussed like the Chandra, the moon stone or the Chandrakala, the moon stone that is split, the way it reflects the moon's light and all of these. The Vasinyad Vagdevatas spread across Mother Divine Lalita Mahatripur Sundari are radiating and reflecting back her energy, a part of it. And those of us who are meditating on that Aruna Varnam, which is an orange, yellow, and red mix of light that comes at the before the sun rises in the morning in the east of the sky, they will be blessed with the Vak Shakti, is what we discussed. And we also discussed the names of Vasinyadi Vagdevatas in the previous class. In today's class, the 18th slokam, which goes on to talk about the siddhis one gets, okay, and it talks about the 18th slokam essentially talks about Tanuchaya Biste Taruna Tarani Shri Sharanibihi Divam Sarva Murvi Manimagnanam Smaratiyaha Bhavam Tasyat Trasyat Dwana Sarna Salina Naina Bhavam Tasyat Trasyat Dwana Harina Salina Naina Sahor Vashya Vashya Katikatana Girvana Ganika. Okay. When we listen to Soundarya Lahari verses, a lot of times it appears as if the words are very, very complex. The words sound very complex to all of us. It's because the words are complex, therefore they sound complex. But when we try to read the meaning and understand, the words start becoming much more easier. Okay. And therefore, a lot of people who chant other Sahasranamas, Vishnu, Lalita, okay, when they come into Soundarya Lahari, they often have a feeling that Soundarya Lahari is extremely difficult. As long as we have fear that when I chant something wrong, I will get a negative result, we will always be scared about chanting something. But when we are chanting for the true spirit of learning, a Sahasranamam or a Shlokam or a Padyam or Gadyam, the Vak Devi, Lalita Mahatripura Sundari first, Saraswati next, and then the Astavak Devis that we discussed in the last class, they will start correcting our pronunciation. And this is my personal experience itself. A lot of times in a lot of books, even Lalita Sahasranam books that we chant, the names are not printed properly. Soundarya Lahari, many books that I have seen, the first slokam, Shivashaktya yukto yadi bhavati shakta prabhatum nache devam devo nakalu kushla spanditumpi atastvam aradyam harihara virinchadi berapi pranantum stotum va kadamakrita punya prabhati. This va pranantum stotum, in a lot of books in Telugu script that I read, pranantum stotum na is printed in a lot of books. Okay. It might be a printing mistake. It might be the source from which they acquired. There might be a mistake. Therefore, these continue. But when you continue to chant, what I have seen in my own life and experience is the Vak Devi will correct. And recently, when somebody pointed this to me, I was surprised when I was reading the same book as this other devotee. I never read it as na, I read it as va. Okay, so there will be many such things. The only time a padyam or a shlokam or a stotram will give negative results is when we do something called prayoga. What is prayoga? Prayoga in Sanskrit translates loosely to experiments in English. Prayoga means when we are doing stotrams for somebody's ill effect. Okay, any mantram, it is like a sword. When you use the sword to cut vegetables, when you use a knife to cut vegetables, the knife will be used to cut the vegetables. But accidentally, if you slide in your finger, the knife or sword will not know that you slid in your finger. When the knife touches, it's going to cut it. Similarly, all the mantras that we have, mananat iti mantraha, that which keeps being repeated, mananat iti mantraha. What it does when we are repeating it, just like we said in the last class, for each of the alphabets, A to Aha, there is one Vagdevata that is responsible. When we are chanting those Vagdevis essentially are getting energized in us. Similarly, when we are chanting a mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, right? Or any other shlokas, Shuklam Bhardaram Vishnu, what happens is the different energy centers in our brain and spine, primarily other parts of the body as well, start getting activated. If you were to look at the Oriental, the Zen, and the Chinese and the Japanese Buddhist monks, whenever they talk about the chi energy, okay, which is what we call the Kundalini, they tell you to press different parts of the body using acupressure to get the energy centers activated. Now, not everybody might know which part of the body to press to activate a different organ. When you press certain parts of the foot, liver gets activated. When you press certain parts of the palm, the heart and the mind get activated. Now, not everybody will know. That's the reason when we do namaste, and when we are doing bhajana, when we clap, some of these energy centers get activated. Okay. And our rishis, like the Zen monks, have realized that it is not easy to, for example, when you press in between the index finger and the middle finger, what this does is this increases a certain kind of fire in the tummy, which helps the digestion. Okay. So you keep seeing a lot of people keep doing this, and they keep breaking the fingers or the knuckles, right? When you get this sound, the air that is trapped in, it's not a good thing, because what it does is it loosens the joints. Okay. Now, when we chant a stotra or mantra, certain energies get activated in our body. When we use these energies for our own growth, spiritual growth, and benefit, it helps us grow. Similarly, there are certain people who do prayogas in order to take somebody in control, which is called, basically Vashikarnam. Vashikarnam means taking somebody else into their control. Okay. Similarly, there are other prayogas. The highest of the prayogas is called Marana, which means death. They can sitting at a very remote place. Some people who chant the mantras can cause death. And this is exactly how our saints who were doing pujas were protecting their pujas from Rakshasas. If you were to look at Ramayana, when Vishwamitra reached out to Dasratha and asked for the young Rama and Lakshmana to be accompanied to protect the homam that he was doing from Maricha, Subahu, he did not want to use the mantras as a prayoga towards Rakshasas. Vishwamitra himself is a Brahma Rishi. There is nothing that he does not know and cannot do. He is the one who taught Rama and Lakshmana. Many astras were given to them. What is astra? Astra and sastra, there's a difference. We keep repeating. Sastra is a weapon that you can see with your physical eyes, that the other person will see. Astra is something that is used by mantra, the power of mantra. Therefore, when Rama had to kill Ravanasura, Rama took a piece of blade of grass and chanted the Brahmastra mantram, and that grass, the blade of grass, turned into a powerful weapon that killed the Dasagriva, the 10-headed Ravanasura. Therefore, astras are prayogas. Okay. And when the prayogas are done, there are always, somebody else is being the target. When Rama used Brahmastra, that prayoga killed Ravana doing Loka Kalyanam. So, a doctor who needs to perform a surgery and remove a gallbladder, an appendicitis, is doing because that organ is no longer causing a function, rather it is causing pain or it has gone defunct. So doctors operate, do the surgery and remove those parts. Similarly, God Ravana, Rama had to kill Ravana, Krishna had to kill so many, Rakshasas or Rakshasis right from the moment he was born. These are all what we call prayogas. But some people, when they chant these mantras, they actually use these prayogas. Like Ashwadhama tried using Brahmastram to kill and eliminate the Pandava Vamsam, right? Abhimanyu's wife was pregnant with the last of the Pandavas, and the lineage will continue with Pandavas, Abhimanyu's wife delivering the baby. But Ashwadhama wanted to eliminate the Pandava Vamsam. Now that is a negative prayogam. This to be born baby has not done anything wrong, right? Now Ashwadhama, being a Chiranjeevi, did that mistake. Therefore, what did Krishna do? Krishna had Arjuna remove the precious jewel that is there in Ashwadhama's forehead with which he was born. And from the moment it was removed, Ashwadhama's body started smelling like a dead body, but he still continues to live. Now, these prayogas essentially are dangerous when they are done against the Loka Kalyana. When Krishna Avataram, Rama Avataram, Parashurama Avataram used these mantras to get power, they basically achieved some astras that can be used in prayogas. Now, there are many people who actually chant, go to the temple, and rather than asking for what should we ask, any mantra concludes with Om Shanti 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 Hi. Let I be at peace. When I am at peace, the people who are surrounding me will be at peace. When the people who are surrounding me at peace, the whole cosmos will be at peace. Therefore, we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi 3 times. But rather than asking this, a lot of people who go to temples, who pray to God, will always ask that somebody else should not progress or somebody else should get destroyed. That is very wrong. When somebody is using the shlokas, stotras, mantras as prayogas, and if they don't chant these letter to letter properly, then the mantras and the shlokas will boomerang back, causing ill effects to people. But all of us who are chanting for our own spiritual growth, for the Loka Kalyanam, for the benefit of the fellow mankind, we have nothing to worry. As long as we are chanting them wrong as well, Mother Divine will continue to correct it herself. And therefore, we will always, and this is my experience, right? Personally, I'm not talking about something I have read or listened to. I'm telling you about my own experience from the moment I was initiated into Srividya, as I kept getting many of the mantras and stotras, the various forms of gurus that have come down, they will come and give. For example, I'll tell you a personal experience that happened last year. As I was chanting some of these shlokas, I longed to learn about a stotram that is not often documented anymore. Even if it is documented, there is no genuine sources that can validate that this is the true version of the stotra about Lalita Devi, which was composed by Durvasa Maharshi. Okay, the one who gave Arya Dvishati. Okay, Arya Dvishati is the 200 shlokas about the grandness of Mother Divine. Now, when in my prayers I had this feeling, said, Mother, if you permit me, and if you think I should learn, and I can learn, please give me access. Now, as I started requesting her multiple times, and I forgot about it. Okay. Then after a few months, one of my Guru Bhais, of the Himalayan saint, whoever initiated me, the Guruji passed away, left his body, and went into the Samadhi, becoming one with the Supreme Conscious. But one of the senior most Guru Bhais called me from Himalayas. I don't even have their number. When he came down to Joshimath, he called me and said, so and so date, I will be in Varanasi and I want you to come because you have been asking the goddess to learn and I have been instructed to give you the stotra. Now, this sounds like magic, right? I never spoke to this Guru Bai because they are in Himalayas, they're monks who renunciated the world, who have no connection with the world. They'll not generally come back in connection. And I've been praying to Lalita Devi, asking her that I wanted to learn this. And here is this monk who typically prays to Krishna or Rama, calls me out of nowhere and says, be in Kasi on so and so date. I'll give you this stotram. So last year, March, when I went to Kasi, he actually took me on a boat in the Pavitra Ganga and gave me this 50 verse slokam that I wanted to learn. Okay, and many such things will happen. If a normal person like me is getting very, these experiences, if all of you who are very devoted to the divine move with faith ahead, faith is the only ingredient, nothing else that is required. You will get access to the mantras and shlokas that will help you in your own spiritual progress. And the way the nature, Mother Goddess is also called Prakriti, she picks, saying, okay, this person can be given this mantra, this person can be given this shlokas, because she knows what is going to come, which will help in Loka Kalyanam. Okay. Now, anyone, who gets jealous by listening to others' progress, one of the biggest things that happens in spirituality is the comparison of an individual. I stop comparing myself with others, because comparison is the root cause of all the sorrows, sadnesses, and sin in the world. When people are truly on a spiritual path, they stop comparing themselves with others. The only comparison that will continue to be done is, how was I yesterday? How am I today? How was I in the morning? How am I in the evening? Am I identifying the negative elements in me and am I trying to reduce them? Eliminating negative elements is next to impossible. So we have to take them layer by layer, layer by layer, layer by layer, and slowly it will go away. Okay. Now that's the biggest thing. Today's slokam, the 18th one, talks about Vishwamitra's story, how Vishwamitra became jealous with Vasistha Maharshi's power. When Vasistha Maharshi put his Brahma Dandakam, when Vishwamitra asked for Kamadhenu and Nandini Dhenu, Kamadhenu's daughter, because he saw how Kamadhenu and Nandini Dhenu were creating everything, including soldiers. Vishwamitra became jealous. He said, why should this monk or saint have all of this? I, being the emperor, should have. And then he continued to attack Vasistha in various forms. He realized he could not win over Vasistha using army. Then he said, okay, I will become a Brahma Rishi myself. He continued to do tapas in different sides of India. And every time he reached a certain level, Urvasi came down once, Ramba came down once, distracted him. And then he cursed, the Apsaras the first time. He cursed Ramba. But next time when he had a daughter with Urvasi, he realized, what is this? After doing all this tapasya, why did I get attracted to the physical beauty of this Apsara? Apsara in Sanskrit means the bubbles that are created when foam comes in. When you go to a beach, whenever the tide comes, you will see a lot of bubbles are created, and each bubble starts reflecting the spectrum of colors which are in it, because the light is getting reflected on it. Similarly, apsaras means the temporary beauty that will reflect all the colors in it, but it will go back and blast with the tide that is receding. Okay. Now, Vishwamitra realized that he was falling for the physical beauty, and he went to the east of India. He did tapasya for 10,000 years before he became the final Brahma Rishi. When he became Brahma Rishi, the anger, the comparison, the jealousy, everything went away. That is when he went to Vishwamitra, went to Vasistha, Vasistha hugged Vishwamitra saying, hey, Brahma Rishi, please welcome. Right? That was when Vishwamitra became Brahma Rishi. His comparison, his anger, all the negative elements completely got eliminated. He no longer compared himself with Vasistha. And therefore, when he went to Dasaratha to get Rama and Lakshmana to kill or protect the home that he was doing, he did not want to cause himsa, because he should be in peace before doing the homam. So the homam will give good results. That's the reason he brought in Kshatriya Putras Rajaput, the Yuvarajas, to protect, because the Raja and Yuvaraja's job is to protect the Dharma Karikramas. Vishwamitra, though himself was a Kshatriya, but by the transformation, he became a Brahmana, the one who is always enjoying in the Brahma Tattva. Therefore, he no longer wants to kill, he no longer wants to do himsa. Okay? Today's slokam that talks about this Tanuchaya biste tarunatarni Shree Sharnibihi. Tanuchaya biste, Tanu means body. Chaya biste means the radiance that is coming from the body. Whose radiance? Tanuchaya biste tarunatarani Shree Sharnibihi. The devotees who are praying to the Mother Goddess, from whose body the vibrant red light is spreading out, the radiant red, as before the sun comes, the red light comes, right? Whichever devotee is praying to Mother Goddess, before he can see the Mother Goddess, he will see the red light. Just like before we see the sun, we see the Aruna Varnas coming in the east side of the sky in the morning. Then it says, Divam Sarva Urvim Arunimanimagnanam. Like the same thing that I just mentioned. Like the sky and the earth are completely engulfed in that redness, the Aruna Varnam. Okay? Smarati Yaha means the one who is Smaranat, is the one who is constantly focusing it internally, repeating it, chanting it. Okay, how do you chant it? Aruna Karuna Tarangatakshi, right? Or you are focusing on Mother Divine's picture where you see the red light coming out, right? The red Varnam. That's the reason Kukuma is given as the Shakti's Prasada. Wherever you go, you do to Sri Chakrarchana with Kunkuma. Right? Kunkuma is given because the red marks change. Okay? Devam Sarva Burvim Arunimanimagnanam. Then Smaritya, the one who is meditating on it. Last week we discussed the Japamala being in the right hand and the books being in the left hand. Books are important to learn, but if we are not able to mananat and smaranat, if we are not able to chant them and reflect upon them, then that bookish knowledge never got translated into applicable wisdom. Okay. Then the third line, what does the third line say? Tanu chaya biste tarnishi saramim devam sarvam urvi marunimani magnanam smartha bhavam tasya trasya dvarnaharna salina nayana. It says bhavam tasya trasya. This is basically the beauty of Shankaracharya and how he uses the words. And because of such words, a lot of people think Soundarya Lahari is very difficult because we don't know. When we say bhavam tyasya, then trasya. The first one is tasya, the second one is trasya. So we just have to focus and slow down so we don't make mistakes. And even if we are making mistakes, as long as it's for our own spiritual progress, it would be corrected and there's no reason to worry. Bhavan tasya means the one who exists. Bhavati bhiksham dehi, people. Bhavati means the one who is there. Bhavan tasya means the one who exists. All of us are existing in this physical body because of which we are able to do punya karikramas as a manushya, right? And the second line, Bhavantasya Trasyad Vanaharina Salina Naina. Vanaharina, Harini or Harina means a deer. A deer whose eyes, if you look at a frightened deer, which is running away from a tiger, a lion, or a leopard, you will see that Karuna, it's looking so scared. And Mruga Nayani is a name also used to mother. Her eyes appear like the deer's eyes, which are filled with Karuna. And when somebody is filled with fear, they are approaching somebody else who can protect them. Now, whoever exists in the human form, that meditates upon the red form or the red light emitting out of Mother Divine, the Arunavarnam, he or she starts seeing these deer which is frightened, its eyes. What does it mean? Who has the deer like attractive eyes? These are the apsaras, right? Like Urvasi. Okay. Where is it mentioned in the next word? It says, Bhavantasya trasya darina hena salina naina sahor vashya. Sahor vashya is the Deva Apsaras that are there in Indra's Amaravati, where Urvasi, Ramba, Hanuman's mother, Punjakasthala, before she became Anjani Devi, Punjakasthala was an Apsara who came down to earth. And you see in any saint's life, these Apsaras come to distract them from their tapasya, where Indra rules them. What does it mean? Indra is a god of organs in us. When we are going on spiritual path, the organs will start creating distractions. Okay, either asking us to eat non-sattvic food, so our schedules of sattva will be disturbed, or asking us to go after bodily pleasures. Okay, not wanting to sleep on the ground, on the floor, not wanting to sleep in nature, not constantly using air conditioning even when it is not required. Many of these things increase the tamasa gunam. Okay, and these are equivalent to the apsaras. Apsara doesn't mean a beautiful woman appearing right in front of us. Okay, that is at the highest levels. Even that will happen. Many saints who, if you happen to meet, talk to the Himalayan saints who actually meditate away from the societies, many of them tell you that when they reach a certain level, they will see these beautiful apsaras descending down to distract them from their tapasya, to invoke lust in them. And at that time, the gurus who train them before itself will tell them that when you reach a certain level, these indications will come through. Suddenly, the nature will become extremely romantic, right? Suddenly, the nature will become extremely filled with color, beautiful smell. Okay, therefore, enhancing the desires of lust in somebody, and then suddenly the apsaras will start descending to distract, to take away the tapo shakti. Okay, because Indra tests the devotees to understand whether these people are falling for the physical beauty, for the bodily pleasures, or are they beyond it, and therefore he sends those distractions our way. Sahor Vashya Vashya Katikatina Girvana Ganika. And now, when a person is praying to Mother Divine, the most beautiful form that exists in there, okay, he or she will continue to attract, not because Indra wants to interfere, but because the devotee starts becoming so beautiful, not physically, spiritually. Okay, the devotee starts becoming so beautiful, he or she, the apsaras want to come to him. What does it mean? Apsaras also are an indication of the siddhis. As long as we use the power that spirituality brings us, we will be in control. The moment the power starts using us, we will become a slave. Okay, when the slokam Jagadguru says the slokam, a lot of people in the Prayoga Sastra, in the negative form of it, they think when chanting this, a person can get any woman that he wants or desires under his spell. Wrong. Does not happen. Why would a Jagat Guru of Adi Shankaracharya's stature give such slokam? I know certain people who have done this slokam as a prayogam to attract a woman, a girl, and they had a terrible fall. Okay, and those are the people who will not get the positive results, but they will lose the energy that they have accumulated and fall down also. Okay, so the celestial beauties like Ramba, Urvasi, Menaka get attracted to a devotee of Mother Divine, because the devotee who is praying to Mother Divine, and the first thing that happens to the devotee is she or he will start noticing the red light. Just like before the sun rises in the east, we notice the Arnavarnas, and with the red light indication, Jagadguru means change is about to happen. When the red light goes through pyramid and starts splitting into different wavelengths, red is the first wavelength that comes out. Similarly, when a person is about to go through her or his transformation, he will start praying to Mother Divine, who is beyond a namam or a rupam. We attach a namam to her, Lalita, because to explain how easy it is for us to reach her feet. Lalita means easy. Then the red light, essentially we attach with the red light to say she is not in only one form. She is transforming the change in us by splitting our thoughts, with the red being the first wavelength that comes out, where Vichakshana Jnanam will increase in us. We will self-evaluate ourselves very critically, saying, what am I doing? Is it right? Is it wrong? What am I saying? Is it right or wrong? And therefore, we will be able to constantly improve ourselves. Okay. And when the apsaras are coming, why did Jagadguru use the word like a frightened deer? These apsaras are not coming confidently to the devotee. Okay, because if they come confidently to the devotee, they are coming to distract the devotee from her or his path. These apsaras don't come only to men, they also come to sadhvis, the women who are doing tapasya, because this is not a physical woman that is coming. This is a siddhi, this is a power that is coming, which will distract us. When they come frightened, like a frightened deer with its eyes, they are coming because they are worried, like a Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi who said, I will never use any siddhis. Siddhis are like the bird's droppings. The moment I start using them, they will start taking advantage of me and they will start using me. Therefore, in our philosophy that talks about Advaita, saying first it starts with God is different, I'm different, Dvaita. Then at a different level, we realize that God that we go pray to in the prayer room, in the temples, is nowhere other than in my chest, from where the inner voice is born that only I can listen to in between my two ears. From there, I say, okay, how do I close my eyes and start having intense conversations with this Bhagavat who's sitting here? Therefore, it becomes Bhagavad Gita that Krishna taught to a warrior, Arjuna, in a battlefield. We are all in the battlefield of samsara, and the charioteer, the God who is riding our Radham, the body, he is sitting here, and Arjuna, who is constantly in between many confusions. Should I oppose, my relatives? Should I oppose my loved ones, whatever they're saying? Even if it is adharmic, sometimes we follow because we cannot and we don't want to cause unpleasantness to them. Therefore, Krishna says you have to you have to speak what is Satya, what is Dharma. Doesn't matter who the other person is. It could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your son, daughter, mother, father. Dharma stays Dharma. Therefore, my dear Arjuna, go fight with Dronacharya, who taught you. Go fight with Bhishmacharya, who is your great grandfather. And don't think you are the one who is killing. I am the one killing. You become the instrument, and take only the credit of being the instrument in the divine hands, and don't think you are doing anything. You cannot do anything on your own. Okay. Similarly, when these apsaras are appearing or coming to the devotee as frightened deer, they are worried whether this devotee will shoo them away. They want to be used so they can use the devotee. So they come as a scared deer runs away. Okay, and the true power of spirituality is knowing that the siddhis are coming to us, but not even touching them, not using them, and walking away. Only then one will be able to climb up the spiritual mountain. Okay, and therefore we say Mother Divine Lalita Tripur Sundari sits on top of the Meru mountain in the center. And how does a Meru mountain look? It has different layers of avarnas. Okay, and these are all the Shaktis that are represented in Kadgamala. Some of the Siddhis, the Asta Siddhis, okay, are there. After you crossed Asta Siddhis, there are different additional Siddhis that will come. There is a Bhairava Siddhi that will come. There is, many siddhis that are listed as the Shaktis of Devi that will come to the devotee as she or he continues to pray selflessly. They will come. Okay, they will be able to see, intuitively talk. But as long as they don't use them for selfish reasons and gains, one will continue to progress ahead, and therefore he or she will be allowed to reach the center of Sri Chakra Nagaram, the Bindu, where Lalita Tripur Sundari is sitting on the left lap of Mahakameshwara. From that Mahakameshwara and Lalita Tripur Sundari's union, this whole world is created. But when they unite, the Kundalini from the bottom of this pyramid ascends up, and when the Shakti unites with the Yogi Shiva and they start enjoying the Bhogatvam, the union. It is not like the union of a man and a woman that we think of. No, it's much, much beyond that. It is the union of the two energies, masculine and feminine. For a simple understanding, we say it is as equivalent to having a physical union of a male and female, but it's much more beyond that. When Kundalini unites with the yogi Shiva at the Brahmarandram, and that union starts slowly dripping the 72,000 nadis that are there, not the nerves. Nadis are Ayurvedic synapses that are considered to be the different energy centers, and those 72,000 nadis will start getting flooded with. That is the next namam in Lalita Sahasranama that we'll discuss, called Chandra Vidya. Last week we discussed about Manu Vidya, the 12 great devotees of Mother, starting with Manu until Durvasa Maharshi, the different Vidyas that they follow to realize the Divine Mother. Chandra Vidya is when that union happens, the Amritam flows, and Amritam is always compared to the rays of Chandra because it is very pleasant, very cold, that flows through the 72,000 nadis of the yogi who is meditating, and he is in a samadhi sthiti where the kundalini rises up and unites with the yogi Shiva, converting him into Bogi. When I say yogi Shiva converts to Bogi, imagine the picture on the Lalita Sahasranam book where Mother Divine is sitting on the left lap of that Shiva who is sleeping, who is now called Mahakameshwara, because the one who burnt down the god of Cupid, the god of love, Manmada. Manmada is the son of Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi. When his maternal uncle or Shiva burns down Manmada, what does it mean? Which uncle will burn his own nephew? Nobody will. When Shiva burnt down Manmada, it means Shiva became a yogi who went above and beyond all the distractions that are caused in the Yoga Marg, which is also explained and described beautifully in Sundara Kanda, where Hanuman goes to Suvarna Lanka, the kind of distractions that will come. First, a Parvatam rises up, and that Parvatam is shining with Trikuta Parvatam. Three kutas means gold, silver, and copper. What are those? Our three states of existence. Swapna, Sushupti, Jagrat. So first those three states will raise and will cause a destruction or distraction to the devotee. Always wanting to sleep, tamasa gunam, right? Always wanting to do something that is not required. Hanuman crushes it and goes forward. Trikuta Parvatam, gives him Atidyam, says, please rest. I'm giving you honey. Hanuman says, I'm on a Rama Karikramam. I cannot. What does Rama mean? Rama is not powerful because Vishnu Avatara got named itself Rama by Vasistha. When somebody passes away, you hear Ram Nam Satya Hai. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Rama means the cycle of death and birth. The body that came in this form with a certain name went away. But again, the soul is going to come back. Therefore, we say Ram Nam Satya Hai. Cycle of death and birth is Satyam. When you add a Shree Rama, that becomes a boat which can take you from the Varana side to the Asi side of Ganga. The reason Punyakshala Kasi is called Varana plus Asi is that is the only place where Ganga is flowing from north to south. In Varanasi, Ganga goes up. Okay, until then, people who are born are going towards south. What does south mean? In the south, typically there's a graveyard. Everybody who is born is walking towards her or his death. But when they go to Kasi, in Kasi, Ganga does something which is very unnatural. It comes from north to south, top to down, like water flows, but there it starts going up. It makes a U-turn and goes up. So people who visit Kasi and take dip in Ganga, their spiritual life will start going up. Therefore, Himalayas are there on the northern side of India, becoming the spiritual capital, becoming the abode for Mount Kailash, Badrinath. Talk about places all Punyakshalas. Whereas Suvarna Lanka, which is filled with all beauty and attraction, is on south of India, not even in India, south of India, which essentially means anything that attracts also distracts us, destroys us. When Hanuman is going, then he sees Swapnika, which captures his shadow, which are all the bad habits that can capture us. We say Vasana Balam. They capture our shadow, therefore Hanuman is not able to move, Simhika, right? And therefore he kills Simhika with tact and then he moves forward. When he moves forward, he sees the biggest obstacle, Maya Devi, Nagamata, Surasa rises up. Who is Surasa? None other than Lalita Tripur Sundari herself. All the gods have said, there is going Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam, Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam, Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukyam, Sri Ramadutam, Charanam Prapadye. All the gods went to Mother Divine Lalita and said, here is a Mahakapi, not a just normal Vanara. He is going towards the Suvarna Lanka to find out your avataram, Mother Goddess Sita. Therefore, this Kapi is transformed into a Mahakapi already, Maha superlative. Okay, and before he gets the darshanam, the Atma darshanam, whoever sees or whoever catches the feet of Mother Divine, whether you call Parvati, Radha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, whatever it is, doesn't matter. These are all different names that we give to water, Tanni, Pani, Niru, and like that, right? Now, the one who catches hold of the Shakti, he or she starts empowering his or her own Kundalini, which will raise up to unite with the yogi in the head. You can call the yogi Shiva, Krishna, Rama, doesn't matter, depending on whichever form you pray. Now, when all the gods pray to Mother saying, Mother, he's going to get your darshan, Atma darshanam, and this monkey will become God, where in the world no other animal gets prayed to as we pray to Hanuman. You see, every street almost will have a temple for Hanuman. Why? Born as a great Rudramsa with lot of strength, who was cursed by the rishis as a boon. to forget his power until a Brahma Amsa, Jambavanta is a Brahma Amsa who did 21 parikramas to the Trivikrama avataram of Vamana. That is the power of Jambavanta. Until a Brahma Amsa reminds the power to this Rudra Amsa. Hanuman is a Rudra Amsa. And therefore, without the touch of Hanuman, Rama could not kill so many people. Hanuman carried Rama and Lakshmana on his shoulders, becoming the vehicle and Ratha. And then Rama killed so many, because without Rudra's touch, Layam can never be done. Okay. Now, when all the gods prayed to Mother Nagamata Surasa rose up from the Samudram. She opened her mouth and said, I want to taste you, is the word she said to Hanuman. Now, look at the beauty. Why we say, Manojava Marutulyavegam Buddhimatam Varishtam. In the intellect, she is the foremost one. Why do we say that? We say that because Hanuman, who is going on Rama Karikramam, and he said, like Rama's Bana goes, arrow goes, I am going on Rama Karikramam. It is not my power, it is my master, Sri Rama's power. And I am just the arrow that is going from his bow. When the arrow is going from the bow, if arrow thinks it is my energy, it is ignorant. Just like that, when I'm flying across, it is my Rama's, my master's energy, not my energy. That is how humble Hanuman is. Now, when Nagamata Surasa got up, he did namaste as he was flying by, and he said, Mother says she wants to taste me. If she wants to swallow me, by this time she would have swallowed. And he knows the power of Surasa, he cannot bypass her. So immediately that Mahakapi became a tiny kapi, goes inside her mouth, touches the tongue and comes back and says, Mother, I touched your tongue. Anything that touches the tongue is as good as you tasted it. So she smiles and she blesses, saying, no Nagastram can touch you. When Hanuman became Chiranjeevi, Brahma and all other devatas gave many boons, where Brahma said, even my Brahmastram, which is a supreme most astram, cannot tie you, and I'm turning you into Chiranjeevi. When Nagamata Surasa blessed him, she said, why Nagamata? Why not in any other form? Because the Kundalini is getting charged and activated. Kundalini is always compared with a snake. Okay. And therefore, she said, no poison will have its effect. No poisonous astram will have its effect. Therefore, when Indrajit applied Nagastram, and all the armies of Rama and Lakshmana and Sugriva felt unconscious, including Jambavanta. Okay. And that evening, everybody thought they are going to die. What is the condition? If the sunset, by the time of the sunset, they all are unconscious. If they don't wake back up conscious by next sunrise, they will all die. That is the condition. When Vibhishana was searching for everyone, he knows Jambavanta is Chiranjeevi, but Jambavanta also came under the influence of the Nagastram that Mahabali Indrajit used. When Vibhishana was searching and went to Jambavanta, touched his feet, saying, Tata, Jambavanta, grandfather Jambavanta, this is Vibhishana doing namaste to you, because Jambavanta was not able to open his eyes under the effect of that Nagastram. That's how powerful it is. The first word that came out of mouth of Jambavanta is Hanuman safe? Vibhishana was surprised, saying this, what is this you're asking about Hanuman? You should be asking about Rama and Lakshmana. Jambavanta said, if everybody is safe and Hanuman is not safe, then everybody will die. If everybody is not safe and Hanuman alone is safe, then everybody will be rescued. Hanuman was standing right next to Vibhishana, right? Hanuman immediately touched Jambavanta's feet and said, Tata, this is Anjaneya doing namaste to you. He did not use Hanuman. He said Anjaneya, saying, because of my mother's tapasya to that Shiva. I became a blessing boon to my mother as a Rudramsa. And I am equivalent to Bharata. Kaha Bharata Samatuma Priyabai. Sant Tulasidas says in Ramayana, we discussed many times about Hanuman's Jananam, on how the payasam that came from Putra Kamesti was snatched by a hawk and was flown to Anjanadri mountain, in where one of the seven hills of Tirumala Tirupati, on top of which Anjana Devi was sitting and meditating to Shiva using Parama Pavitra Panchakshari, and the payasam was dropped on her head, and the payasam was carried into her womb through the ear by none other than the Vayudeva. Therefore, Hanuman became Pavana Putra Hanuman, and therefore, Anjana Devi, Hanuman said, "O Tata Jambavanta, grandfather, this is Hanuman offering his prayers to you. What is the order?" Then Jambavanta said, he became ecstatic. He said, Hanuman, he hugged him and said, immediately fly to Himalayas and bring Mrita Sanjeevani. He said, how do I identify Mrita Sanjeevani? How does Jambavanta know? Remember the 21 parikramas he did to Trivikravatam. So he has seen everything in the universe. What is there where? When he was doing this 21 parikramas to the Vamana Avataram, which became Trivikravatam. Now, Anjaneya was directed by Jambavanta. I said, these Divya Aushadas will be lighting in the night. Immediately from the south of Lanka, he flew to Himalayas. He could not find out which is Mrita Sanjeevani. He got the whole mountain, and therefore that medicine was used, and everybody was brought back to consciousness. That is the power of Anjaneya. And when Surasa mother came up, blessed him, she said, no Nagastras, no poisonous weapons will work on you, because she knows what is coming, in the future. And therefore, that is how she protected. Therefore, if we chant Sundarakanda and Soundarya Lahari, both are Tantra Granthas. Tantra is essentially which says how to use your body, your breath, and take control of your mind towards bringing in the divine as the master and reducing the effect of Kali, which is the devil. Okay, this shlokam that talks about Tanuchaya Biste Tarunatarnishri Sarnabi Divam Sarva Murvi Marimani Magnanam Smratya Pavam Tasyat Tasyat Dvarna Salina Naina Sahor Vashya Kati Katina Girvana Ganika. The one who is praying to Mother Divine, the one who is longing to reach the feet of Mother Divine, Lord Hanuman, all this Shakti, Asta Siddhi Navanidike Data, Asavaradina Janaki Mata, again quoting Tulsidas from Hanuman Chalisa. You will have all the Astasiddhis like Hanuman has got, and many more. Navavida Bhakti, you will understand what are the 9 forms of Bhakti, but you will never use them for selfish reason. Therefore, you will continue to spiritually progress. And the story of Vishwamitra also talks about the same. Ramba came, distracted him. Urvashi came, distracted him. And then he realized and he conquered his anger. The first time Ramba came, he cursed her because he could not control his anger. But the next time when Urvasi came and both of them had a baby girl together, he then did not curse her. He did namaste to her and said, you came to test my core integrity. I could not withstand the physical beauty and fell for the desires of lust. Please, leave me and go away. I don't want to curse you. The transformation already started in Vishwamitra. Similarly, as we continue to chant the mother's name, this slokam talks about how the distractions will come, especially when a devotee is in the devotion path. The siddhis will come very scared. What if that siddhi tries to lure the devotee, and therefore the devotee, if the devotee curses, the siddhi will also be cursed. It's not the devotee's power like Rama's power in Hanuman, Rama's power in Ramabanam. It would be Devi's power in the devotee. That these Shaktis, Siddhis are scaled off, right? And therefore, distractions like Ramba, Urvasi, and others will be scared, and they will approach the devotee with the scared eyes. Why should they approach? Because if you read the mantra, the chant mantra a certain number of times, certain results have to come. That is the rule of Vedas. So they will come, but they will come very, very scared. They'll be very scared. That is the meaning of the 18th slokam. Tanuchaya biste tarunatarni Sri Sarnibihi. These are all byproducts, but what is that we need to do? We need to focus on that Mother Divine, and therefore understand the importance of her Aruna Varnams, how they can engulf us and bring us into her command and control, which is the best command and control, which will help us in spiritual progress. This is a brief attempt at the 18th shlokam meaning. And when we discuss Chandra Vidya, some of this will be discussed again the next Namam. Stay blessed, and we will meet again in the next Sunday class. Before we go, Manasvi, can you chant Mangalam Guru Shrima?
Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramaleeshwarage Shakti Ganapati Sharadambike Shankaracharyunige Kala Bhairavage Kali Durgage Veera Dhira Sura Hanuma Maruti Charanage Mangalam Guru Shri
Shree Maathrey namaha, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you.